Almond nutrition and health benefits. Hey guys, welcome to Instant Solution. The almond is a species of tree native to Iran and surrounding countries but widely cultivated elsewhere. The almond is also the name of the edible and widely cultivated seed of this tree. Within the genus Prunus, it is classified with the peach in the subgenus Amygdalus, distinguished from the other subgenera by corrugations on the shell surrounding the seed. The fruit of the almond is a drupe, consisting of an outer hull and a hard shell with the seed, which is not a true nut, inside. Shelling almonds refers to removing the shell to reveal the seed. Almonds are sold shelled or unshelled. Blanched almonds are shelled almonds that have been treated with hot water to soften the seed coat, which is then removed to reveal the white embryo. The almond is native to Iran and surrounding countries. It was spread by humans in ancient times along the shores of the Mediterranean into northern Africa and southern Europe, and more recently transported to other parts of the world, notably California, United States. The wild form of domesticated almond grows in parts of the Levant. Selection of the sweet type from the many bitter types in the wild marked the beginning of almond domestication. It is unclear as to which wild ancestor of the almond created the domesticated species. The species Prunus fensliana may be the most likely wild ancestor of the almond, in part because it is native to Armenia and western Azerbaijan, where it was apparently domesticated. Wild almond species were grown by early farmers, at first unintentionally in the garbage heaps, and later intentionally in their orchards. Almonds were one of the earliest domesticated fruit trees, due to the ability of the grower to raise attractive almonds from seed. Thus, in spite of the fact that this plant does not lend itself to propagation from suckers or from cuttings, it could have been domesticated even before the introduction of grafting. Domesticated almonds appear in the early Bronze Age, 3000–2000 BC, such as the archaeological sites of Numaira, Jordan, or possibly earlier. Another well-known archaeological example of the almond is the fruit found in Tutankhamun's tomb in Egypt, c. 1325 BC, probably imported from the Levant. An article on almond tree cultivation in Spain is brought down in Ibn al-Awwam's 12th century agricultural work, Book on Agriculture. Of the European countries that the Royal Botanic Garden Edinburgh reported as cultivating almonds, Germany is the northernmost, though the domesticated form can be found as far north as Iceland. The word almond comes from Old French almond or allemande, late Latin *amandula, *amandula, derived from amygdala from the ancient Greek, cf. amygdala, an almond-shaped portion of the brain. The al in English, for the a used in other languages may be due a confusion with the Arabic article al, the word having first dropped the a as in the Italian form mandorla, the British pronunciation amande and the modern Catalan ametla and modern French almond show a form of the word closer to the original. Other related names of almond include mondel or nac mondel, German, mand orlo, Italian for the tree, mandorla, Italian for the fruit, amendo, Portuguese, and almendro, Spanish for the tree, almendra, Spanish for the fruit. 22 Interestingly however, in Hebrew and Dutch, the word for almond, Hebrew, pronounced shak-ed, Dutch, amandel, is also the word for tonsil. The adjective amygdaloid, literally like an almond, is used to describe objects which are roughly almond-shaped, particularly a shape which is partway between a triangle and an ellipse. See, for example, the brain structure amygdala, which uses a direct borrowing of the Greek term amygdal. Almond trees are small to medium-sized but commercial cultivars can be grafted onto a different rootstock to produce smaller trees. Varieties include Nonpareil, originates in the 1800s. A large tree that produces large, smooth, thin-shelled almonds with 60–65% edible kernel per nut. Requires pollination from other almond varieties for good nut production. Tuono, originates in Italy. Has thicker, hairier shells with only 32% of edible kernel per nut. The thicker shell gives some protection from pests such as the navel orange worm. Does not require pollination by other almond varieties. Mariana, used as a rootstock to result in smaller trees. The most widely planted varieties of almond are self-incompatible that require pollination from a tree with different genetic characters in order to produce seeds. Almond orchards therefore need to grow mixtures of almond varieties. In addition, the pollen is transferred from flower to flower by insects, so that commercial growers have to ensure there are adequate insects to perform this task. The large scale of almond production in the U.S. provides a significant problem. Additional pollinating insects are therefore brought to the trees. The pollination of California's almonds is the largest annual managed pollination event in the world, with 1.4 million hives, nearly half of all beehives in the U.S., being brought to the almond orchards each February. Much of the supply of bees is managed by pollination brokers, who contract with migratory beekeepers from at least 49 states for the event. This business was heavily affected by colony collapse disorder at the turn of the 21st century, causing a nationwide shortage of honeybees and increasing the price of insect pollination. To partially protect almond growers from these costs, researchers at the USA Government Agricultural Research Service have developed self-pollinating almond trees that combine this character with quality characters such as a flavor and yield. Self-pollinating almond varieties exist but lack some commercial characters. However, through natural hybridization between different almond varieties, a new one that was self-pollinating with a high yield of commercial quality nuts was produced. Almond production in California is concentrated mainly in the Central Valley, where the mild climate, rich soil, abundant sunshine, and water supply make for ideal growing conditions. Due to the persistent droughts in California in the early 21st century, it became more difficult to raise almonds in a sustainable manner. The issue is complex because of the high amount of water needed to produce almonds. A single almond requires roughly 1.1 US gallons, 0.92 imperial gallons, 4.2 liters, of water to grow properly. Regulations related to water supplies are changing, so some growers have destroyed their current almond orchards to replace with either younger trees or a different crop such as pistachio that needs less water.